Hi, Mike Brantley, auctioneer, here with you today, talking about auctioneers and terms and conditions and things along those lines of seeing a lot of auctioneers putting in their terms. Essentially, you can't rely on anything I say. And sometimes it's that blatant. I just reviewed some terms and conditions. The auctioneer said, anything I say, you cannot rely on it. Now, let's start with this. If I say you can't rely on anything I say, the first question that pops in my mind is, can I even rely on that? If I can't rely on anything you say, and you just said I can't rely on anything you say, then I can't rely on the fact that I can't rely. Outside of that somewhat perplexing argument, what are the implications of not being able to rely on anything you say? Well, the reliance on what an auctioneer says, and if the auctioneer says you can't rely on anything I say, then that's a disclaimer. I'm distancing myself from liability from anything I might tell you. I might be selling a 5-acre lot with a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1-car garage improvement, when in fact it's not that many acres. It doesn't have that many bedrooms. It doesn't have that many baths. And but who cares? Because I've just said you can't rely on anything I say. So not my problem. And then further, some auctioneer terms say, and it is your problem. In other words, not just disclaiming it, but assigning it to the bidders, that they have to look or inspect or assess and make their own determination, because you certainly cannot rely on anything I say. What other business, what other industry let's take retail. Can retailers advertise in flyers or emails or social media or on signage that these bananas are from Colombia and they're no more than 3 days old and they're $4 for a dozen, and you get up to check out and they're not from Colombia, they're from Nicaragua, and they're not $4 a dozen, they're $8 a dozen, and there's only 6 of them in there? What I mean, the news would pick that up. I mean, it's unconscionable, quite frankly, that auctioneers essentially in their terms and conditions, and it's not hard to find, essentially say, I'm going to lie to you, so get over it. And in fact, it's not my problem, it's your problem. Non-reliance. Yeah, I understand people make mistakes. I understand that I might say it's got well water when in fact I was mistaken. It's city water. But I should be held to those things, should I not? I mean, should I get my facts straight? I shouldn't be able to, I guess the difference here, I shouldn't be able to consciously, premeditated, intentionally misrepresent property and get away with it. I would offer that, yes, we should be held to a lesser standard if we make a mistake, an honest mistake. It wasn't bait and switch. We really thought there were a dozen bananas in that. We understand there's only half a dozen. We'll correct it or what have you. And that's the right answer. I've had auctioneers tell me that they're having trouble getting, that kind of started out with that phrase, I'm having trouble getting the younger generation to participate in our live auctions, and they're not really bidding on our online auctions too much either. Is it any wonder? As terrible as we treat them in this regard, it's a wonder anybody participates in any auction. If I hold up a wristwatch and I say this is a Rolex and it's from 1978 and it runs and it works and it keeps good time, and it's not a Rolex and it's not from 1978 and it doesn't keep good time, and that's not my problem, but because my terms and conditions I laid out in front of you say, I'm not responsible. Now there's puffing, there's sales talk. You know, golly sakes, guys, look at that backyard. That goes on forever. I think the sun sets on the far west side of that. Now, the sun doesn't set on the far end of that lot, I don't think. And it doesn't go on forever. But what is sales talk or puffing? You know, obvious exaggeration, where the recipient of the information knows that, is knowledgeable of that I'm kidding. I'm kidding, and you know it. I think that's okay. I think, in fact, I think in some cases that's appropriate. But intentional misrepresentation. I am having you register for my auction. I'm having you participate in my auction. And my terms and conditions say I can lie to you, intentionally lie to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I think there is something that can be done about it. And I think the choice a lot of bidders make is, I'm not going to participate in your auctions anymore. I'm going elsewhere. No other business, insurance companies, attorneys, accountants, retailers, big box stores, online vendors, I don't know of any. Car dealers can't lie to you, can they? Do their terms and conditions say we can say there's a certain kind of certain model, certain make, certain miles, and then sell it to you, and it's not? Can they advertise on their website that it's a certain kind of car when it's not? And then in the small print it says you can't hold me to any of my representations? Do you think our bananas would make the news? The local news would have a reporter down at that car lot saying, hey, you're advertising cars you don't have, and you're calling this car, that car, and you're saying it's this make and it's the other make and the other model, and it didn't have anywhere near, you know, the mileage is, are you kidding me? But that's what we say. We had an auction not too long ago with a great number of wristwatches. And a bidder, I think the third auction, we had several spread over several online auctions. And a bidder in that third auction got a hold of us when he received his watches, and he said, these appear to be used. Now, we could have said, our terms probably said, you're buying stuff as is and where is, and our terms do not say anything we say you can't, you know, rely on it, but as is, where is, and we had a preview opportunity, and he didn't take advantage of it. So we could have said, tough. And guess what? We didn't. He contacted us. He wasn't nasty about it. He said, I've got these, I got them, and they've got dirt on them, and one has got a little ding on the side. I assumed they were new. I checked the website. I now see that you didn't say they were new. You didn't say they were used, but you didn't say they were new. And what do? We said, what can we do for you? What would make you feel better? What do we want him to do? Now, here he has two choices. We have two choices, which gives him two choices. We could talk to him about, well, we can adjust your bill, we can take them back, we can refund, do you want to keep them? How would you like to resolve this? Which is the approach we took. Or we could say, yeah, sorry, we didn't say they were new, and tough, that's tough. Oh, well, better read the terms next time. What's there and what's not there. But if we take that latter choice, or worse yet, in our topic today, in our terms, we say they are brand new. He gets them, and they are obviously not brand new, but our terms say you can't rely on anything we say. What kind of steps is he going to take down the road in a couple regards? One, is he going to ever bid on any of your items in your auction again, or attend one of your auctions again? Likely not. And number two, is he going to tell his friends and neighbors and coworkers and family, hey, if you're ever buying anything at auction, don't buy it from this guy because he can lie. He lied, and there wasn't anything I could do about it. He said these things were new. We didn't say they were new, but in our example here, he said they were new, and they weren't. And he says, oh, well. Oh, well. I'm asking auctioneers. I'm begging auctioneers. You can do better than this. What other industry do you do business with? Anywhere, anytime, where the company, the retailer, the seller, the vendor says, here's what you're buying. Here's the numbers. Here's the model. Here's the make. Here's the serial number. And it is. And so you consummate the transaction and you're happy and they're happy, or they make a mistake. You buy a certain electronics item, receiver of some sort with Bluetooth and all that, and you get it installed, and what? Oh, the Bluetooth doesn't work. No, it's not the same model. He said this was a 71X. This is a 51X. You get a hold of the company. What are they going to do? What would almost anything outside of the auction business do? They'd refund your money. They'd take it back. So, golly sakes, guys, really? Your term, check your terms. See if it says that your bidders, buyers cannot rely on anything you say, can rely on nothing. And then you say things and they're incorrect and you're not willing to do anything for them and they're stuck and you're surprised. If those folks don't keep doing business with you, I wouldn't do business with you. How about people? Let's try this as auctioneers going forward. Why we just take that non-reliance clause out? We say that this information is believed correct and true and accurate, and we endeavor to make sure that everything's been described properly or what have you. And then if there's a mistake, we can decide how to mitigate it. But licensing yourself, in essence, to lie and be able to get away with it because the bidders click on those terms or agree to the terms that they don't read that say that they can't rely on anything you say. You know why they rely on everything you say? Because they can rely on everything that everybody else says in commerce, in retail. But they attend your auction and they can't rely on anything. Mike Brandley, auctioneer. Pleasure to have you here today. Other videos on the same page and as well forthcoming. Have a great day. Stay safe.